All right. Hey guys, how you doing? Um, we are here live with Mr. Fatal J.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Live long and freaking prosper.
let me just.
I didn't tell you, PJ, but I'm a Vulcan. First contact, baby.
All right. Forgive me, guys. I'm just first time I'm using StreamYards, but it's actually really easy to use.
Yeah,
So,
it's simple. It's
um,
way better than OBS.
yeah, it's wow. It's pretty. I set it up in like freaking 10 minutes. So, dude, it's an honor. It's an honor to have you here, Mr. Fatal.
No, sir. It's an honor to be here, man. I first caught wind of your channel when I was on Midnight Edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in Midnight Edge chat, and Tom pointed you out in the chat, and I checked out your channel, and I like what I
Oh.
saw. It was some good stuff, man.
Yeah, I had I didn't start live streaming. I wasn't going to start live streaming until I had close to 1,000. So I kind of waited. I just did other things and had a lot of invited a lot of people to do shout outs and stuff. So I just yeah, it was a little different than other people were doing, but and I watched you guys. I watched you guys. I watched your own stream and the little group streams you guys do, and I really
Yeah,
like what you guys were, doing together.
but I did that too. I waited till I hit close to 1,000 to start streaming. Matter of fact, I remember when I started 900, and I kind of regret that. I wished I would have started streaming earlier because I like connecting with the audience. The audience bring out so many good questions to talk about, and so many potential videos to make. I wished I would have did it sooner.
Yeah, I agree. I did too. I was just I guess I needed my I guess I needed my time to just get ready for to doing lives because at first I didn't even want to do lives.
Well, sometimes you know what, at the back of your mind, it can be kind of nerve wracking too. But once you get over that hump, man, it's on and popping.
Oh yeah, now it's like yeah, I haven't even done that many live streams, but it's easy. It's easy. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
hard. You just got to be yourself. Hey, Dega, how you doing? Hey, Sporking, what's up,
Sporking, what's
man?
up, man? Hey, me and Sporking need to do something too. He's a really energetic guy like me. I really enjoy his content. What's up, Spork?
Sporking's got it going on. He's a rising star
Yeah, he's
in the
gonna be
fandom.
good. He's gonna be a big name in the future. I can see it.
Mr. Adega, and this we got to get Mr. Adega on here too. We got to promote your new book, Adega. Let's see who else is coming in here.
Hey, where's that walker you had in the background? I want one of them for my background.
Oh, I have it at the office.
Oh, okay.
I lost my Wi-Fi at the office,
Man,
so
what a
I'm just
freak do
like
you work at where you can put walkers up in your office? See, I need a job like that.
it's just
No, man,
basically
you don't have to tell me, man.
no, it's just basically Jay. It's basically saying, man, I'm in business for myself and renting out a little small office for
See,
myself.
that's so inspiring to me because I'm gonna do that. I feel like I found a gold mine in the business that I'm in because it makes money just like this. Like just soon as I get product in my hand, it's gone. And no, people,
Oh
it's
wow.
not drugs. Okay. But it's such inspiring to meet another entrepreneur. I like that. I like that. I like to surround myself around people who want to work for themselves and have a little bit of freedom in their lives, you know?
Yeah, and actually, the whole YouTuber lifestyle. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber, but I guess I am. The whole YouTuber lifestyle is very autonomous and it favors the entrepreneur who can kind of like work his own schedule, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Let me just say hello to Axinar Comics. Hey Trey, how you doing?
Asinar
Um,
Commerce, that's familiar to me.
Yeah, have you heard of the fan film Star Trek Axanar, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Axanar Comics is part of is an affiliate or an associate of Axanar.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to have to check out their stuff. I got a comic book script in my head that's been in my head for years. I got it on paper too. I need to get with some comic book people, man. So SNR, I might get at you, man.
Yeah, that's Trey out there. His name is Trey, and he's an awesome guy. I was gonna have Trey on, but I kind of goofed and didn't get stuff ready for him. So we'll have Trey on. Unless you want to jump on, Trey, you let me know.
Yeah.
And Philip, hey Philip, how you doing? Philip Gaming.
What's up, Philip?
Philip is an actor who was on an Orville episode. He's kind of a background actor.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna I started to interview him, and my Wi-Fi got screwed up, and I haven't gotten back to the interview. So I want to interview Philip, and that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be real cool, man. You talking about you don't do live streams, and you got celebrities in your chat, man. Come on, come on, man.
Well, yeah. So Philip is kind of he's been like an extra in all these different shows. It's kind of cool. So we're gonna see what he has to tell us that day when we finally interview him. Hello, Joshua Kyle.
What's up, Josh? Anybody with a name with two first names is cool in my book. You got to be awesome. Joshua Kyle, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird time for our people, for Orville Nation people. I probably don't think I'm streaming now.
Oh man, it's all good because guess what? Everybody is up around this time. I just woke up.
Yeah. It is a good time. It is a good time, and I gotta tell you, there's in our community, Jay, there's really not many people streaming now. So that's why I think this is a good time to maybe start doing something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. YouTube is a big pond, so you don't have to always do nighttime. I've been doing a lot of experiments with live streaming too, trying to see which times are good times and what times really hit. You never know. An afternoon show might be your thing.
Yeah,
and there's less competition out there. You'll never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good to mix things up too. Philip just woke up too, he says. He's on the West Coast though.
Well, see, this is I work for a school, so I got 2 weeks off, and I've been enjoying this rest. I haven't got rest like this in a long time.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you got a holiday schedule. You got a school schedule like a teacher or something.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm gonna put my Fatal J put his life on the line. I'll let y'all know what I do. I'm a behavior person on my job. So basically, pretty much like this. I'm like a security guard at my school. Whenever the kids act up, whenever the kids are out of control in the classroom, they bring them to my classroom. Okay. And when you go to Fatal J's classroom, you're not acting up anymore. Trust me.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. That's interesting.
But I love the kids, man. I love them. I learned so much from them. Kids are awesome. They sometimes, most of the time, they're better than adults. I'm gonna tell you why. They're so forgiving. The kids that I think are not gonna ever talk to me again the next day, come up to me and give me a hug. And an adult can learn so much from a kid in that situation. It's mind blowing, man.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's true. Wow. Hey, Swift Raptor. He's in the UK.
What's up, Swift?
Let me just read real quick with the mission statement for our channel, Jay. So the mission statement for the Orville Nation channel is to connect Orville fans and Orville channels and podcasts and to come together as one big Orville family.
Okay, cool.
And to support Tom Costantino and Seth MacFarlane and the rest of the gang, the rest of the crew, on all they're doing, because they're always trying to give us 110%. And the final thing about our mission statement is to keep us as fans engaged in this, because we kind of have a long off season until season 3 starts after summer. So to keep us all engaged. And there's going to be some changes coming to the Orville Nation channel, because I was going to start a Star Wars spin-off channel, but I was a little upset about stuff lately.
About episode 9, right? Direction. Episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9. Mandalorian's okay. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think I'm going to dedicate a whole channel to Star Wars.
See, I'm loving Mandalorian. And see, I'm like you too, though. My channel, I speak on Star Wars, but I don't want to be stuck on Star Wars. So I do Star Wars, I do Marvel, DC, Star Trek. I want to start back on Star Trek heavy. But the only thing that just kept me away from Star Trek is Discovery. Discovery is trash. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Just for the love of Star Trek I have in my heart, I sat through the first season of Discovery, and it was tough, because anytime you watching a TV show and you keep watching the clock or watching your watch to see how many hours an hour don't pass so it can be over, that's not good television.
No, that's
not good television, man.
You're absolutely right. I was watching the clock too, Fatal.
Yeah, I mean, it will seem like if you want time to slow down, chat, watch Star Trek Discovery. If life is moving too fast for you, you were like, man, I wish time would just slow down. Set your TV on Star Trek Discovery and watch time start moving slow.
You're absolutely right, man. We got to congratulate them on that. They're the freaking longest hour episodes I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just it's a 180 when it comes to Star Trek, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not too big on the OT with Captain Kirk, but I'm super huge on Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. I think Captain Picard, is the ultimate man, and I'm gonna tell you why. Captain Picard showed me that you can use this in your head. This right here is a superpower, your brain. And most of the time, Picard didn't use action. Star Trek wasn't very big on action scenes. It gave you just enough to satisfy you. But most of the time, it's dialogue and good story. But this Star Trek Discovery, they just want to do all action. This is not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. Sorry for going on that rant, but still.
No, you're absolutely right. You worded it very well. They would give us just enough action that was appropriate, and it's a more intellectual show. And
yes.
And I mean, Kurtzman said he was a Star Wars fan, and they wanted. You know what the problem with it happens. The problem is both in Star Wars and Star Trek. The problem is fatal, I think, that they're trying to make everything more mainstream, more like for normies.
Yeah.
And they're fucking it up. They're fucking everything up.
Yeah. PJ, this is what I'm going to do real quick. It's going to be fast. I'm going to drop out and then come right back in, okay? Because my screen is acting funny, and I noticed it. I'm going to drop out, come right back in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right.
Hey, I want to say hi to Ambassador Scotty. Hey, I guess you're not at work today. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for joining us, guys. And it's kind of a weird time. I'm gonna start doing these lunch streams at least once a week, because I think that it's a good I think it's a good time. I don't think there's a lot going on. I think there's a lot of people who could watch and might want to watch. And there he is. There you are. Better?
I'm back. Yes, sir. I'm back.
He's back in a flash.
Yeah.
He went off screen and transformed into super fatal jet.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think this is an interesting time, Fatal, and I'm going to start doing at least once a week, probably more. I'm going to start doing a lunch stream. So
yeah, you should, man. And let me know if you want me to do some thumbnails and stuff for you, man. I enjoy doing thumbnails.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, just let me know. I know how to do those eye-popping thumbnails if you want one made.
Wow. I like your little profile on Twitter. The little purple background with your face on it.
Well, with the cartoon? Is it a cartoon face? Yeah, it was a guy made that for me one day. His name is Cave. He's awesome. He's an awesome artist. I'm thinking about getting with him so I can make some potential future shirts for my channel.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So listen, let's touch it. Let me I don't know if you saw the title, but yeah, you did obviously see the title I put on this. It was there's a rumor out there that and this is unconfirmed. I get a lot of these, by the way. One of the things, even though I wasn't live streaming Fatal, I was mind boggled how much information I was getting on Twitter from people. And this is this is unconfirmed, but I've been hearing from a couple people that the Star Trek showrunners are concerned that people being upset at Star Wars is going to prime them to be upset at Star Trek. And it sounds like they're prepping for damage control. I don't know. What do you think if it's true?
You know what? They might have a point. If you watch Star Trek Discovery, it's just like Last Jedi in the sense that it did a 180 of what the original movies or the original shows was about. And I think they did that. I think they fashioned that after J.J. Abrams' trilogy. So I think they should have concern because Star Trek is not looking good right now. It's not looking good. And isn't the rumors true that this Picard show is supposed to be fashioned just like Discovery?
Yeah. They said it was more along the lines of what Discovery is like. And apparently, from some of the rumors that the initial screenings were really bad. They said 80% of the people in the test audiences didn't like it.
Yeah.
And so apparently, when they handed the show over to Michael Chabon, they had done some reshooting and stuff, and he just stepped down. I don't think he was fired. I think he stepped down. I think he doesn't have a TV background. He's a writer. So I don't know maybe he felt it was too much for him. I don't know.
Kurtzman is just like Kathleen Kennedy. I think they messed up. They wanted an audience. They wanted a new audience. And they was thinking this new audience was going to just be like zombies. Like, yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, Star Wars. Let's buy. It doesn't work like that. You're a businessman, sir. Now, it's a term out there called the customer is always right. That's not technically true because sometimes customers can be buttholes. But basically what that means is give the customers what they want. Don't give them something new. If it's working, keep producing what's working. Don't give them something new. Or guess what? They'll just go to somewhere else. And that's what Marvel is. And that's what DC is. DC gets it. They came out with Batman versus Superman, and it failed. They came out with Justice League. It failed. So they turned the whole blueprint around and just focused on solo, good storytelling movies. No team movies like Avengers. They know they can't do that. So they focusing on solo movies now, and they're winning. Look at Joker. Joker was a successful DC movie that hit $1 billion. So Star Trek, Kurtzman not with Star Trek anymore, is he?
Well, he was removed from Picard. He's kind of in charge of Picard, but he was removed as the showrunner. But now that the showrunner Chabon has stepped away, people think that it's kind of just gonna by default go back to Kurtzman.
Yeah. And PJ, peep this out. Why will Picard mirror Discovery if Discovery was before the OT in the timeline?
They have this new paradigm. I know. You're absolutely right, Jay. They have like this new paradigm. They have this new.
I know it's an alternate timeline because it's the Calvin timeline and what's the other one? What's the other timeline? I can't think of it. But it's two timelines, and basically the timelines is because they can't do certain things with the OT, like certain toys and stuff that look like Captain Kirk.
The thing is, though, supposedly they can, but their secret hideout isn't going to make money from it.
Yes.
They have this kind of like same thing with Star Wars and George Lucas. If they're using certain things, they're not making as much money as they. But in the long run, they're losing a lot more.
They losing a lot. It's so simple at the end of the day. Give the people what they want. It would have been so perfect. You know how Next Generation ended, right? With the last episode.
All the things.
Q. Yeah. It would have been the last episode set it up perfectly to where they could start right after that last episode. When Picard kept going from the past to the present to the future. Man, that would have made Star Trek fans lose their mind if the episode 1 Picard started off right from and have Q show up in the first episode.
Yeah.
Because Picard was old. He was old Picard in the Next Generation last episode. He was old.
Yeah, he looked older than he does now, actually.
But that shows me these guys don't know what they're doing. I don't even think they ever seen Star Trek or Star Wars. I really don't.
Well, they apparently like Brent Spiner and Jonathan Frakes and the rest of the cast were not supposed to be in it, and they kind of just they got brought on board last minute.
Who else? Say that again.
What Riker and Data, Brent Spiner and like the rest of the TNG cast.
That's what people want to see. We don't want to just see Picard by himself. We want to see.
They weren't going to bring him in. They weren't supposed to be part of it, which is crazy.
They got scared. They got scared, PJ. Yeah. They got scared. But think about it. Okay, if we get into Picard solo, of course people gonna want to see the old squad too. We want to see LeVar Burton. Duh. We want to see dang, how can I forget certain people's names right now? I'm on spot right now. I'm on a live.
It's a mental. But people want to see LeVar Burton and
they want to see Data. They want to see all of them,
And Worf and Worf has been.
That's who I was thinking about in my head. Worf. I was
Michael Dorn. Yeah, what happened with Worf? Fatal is they pushed off. They supposedly pushed off the decision until season 2, because if they bring back Worf, there's the whole big freaking deal. Is he going to be a regular Klingon? Or is he going to be a Kling orc?
That makes sense though, because they changed the Klingons in Discovery where they look like raisins. So you will have, but see, Worf already explained that in Next Generation why certain Klingons looked different, so they can still bring him on.
They could. That's been suggested too. They could make some kind of explanation. Yeah.
Remember in Deep Space Nine, they had an episode when they went on Captain Kirk's ship. They went in the past, and the Klingons looked human. And they asked Worf, "Why do the Klingons look like that?" And he said, "I don't want to speak about it."
Yeah, that was great.
But see, there's people who don't watch Star Trek, though.
Gosh, man, they could do it all in canon, and they don't.
Yes, but people who don't watch Star Trek, they don't know about that episode. They don't know about that episode. You could say it's different fractions of Klingons. Some look like humans, some look like raisins, and some look like Worf.
I got to tell you, when you were talking before about Kurtzman Fatal, I honestly think, listen, the guy. Let's be sincere. People like Abrams and Kurtzman and stuff. They obviously have some level of talent. The thing is, these guys should be working on their own stuff and not on somebody's stuff, on somebody else's stuff. They're like shouldn't be riding somebody else's coattails like George Lucas and Roddenberry. They got to be doing their own stuff. If they screw it up, they screw up their own stuff. That's my opinion.
I'm gonna tell you something, PJ. This is something I learned, and something I learned heavily on YouTube. Okay, I learned if I make videos that I want to do, that I just strictly want to do, that don't expect a lot of people to come see it. What I do when I make a video or when I do live streams, I see what's trending out there. Okay, and then when I find something that's trending that I want to talk about, I put my opinions on there, but I'm basically speaking, commentating about why it's trending or commentating on the subject. Okay, so I'm basically catering to the fans. At the end of the day, when it comes to business or when it comes to wanting a large audience, you have to cater to the fans or they won't show up. They won't buy the tickets. They won't buy the streaming services. It's just a harsh reality that's been going on for thousands, if not millions of years. If you don't give the people what they want, then guess what? They're gone. They're gone.
You're right. And that's what Rian Johnson did.
Star Wars Episode 9, they see that. You can't force spoon feed people what they don't want. Simple and plain.
Yeah, and like you said, like in harmony with what you just said, Rian Johnson basically did the movie he wanted to make, and he didn't take into account anybody, let alone the fans.
PJ, the key word you just said, and I heard Rian Johnson say it too. He made the Star Wars he wanted to make, and it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I know you would like to be creative and put an artistic spin to things, but the people don't want that. They don't want that.
Especially if you are, as an individual, kind of on the periphery of the rest of the fans. Like if you're not, like if you're really out of sync with with other people, like because Johnson's out of sync with most of the traditional Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Then you're really gonna freaking mess things up.
That Star Wars box office is bad. It's bad. I know Disney will try to cover it up somehow, some way, even if they have to put in their own dollars. Now, this is just me, Fatal, thinking like this. But I always said this: if Captain Marvel, and that movie was bad, it was bad. If Captain Marvel did $1 billion, then you can still expect Star Wars to do it too.
Hey, later, Scotty. What's up? I'm gonna just say hi to John Haros and Shia. You're welcome, guys. And who else did I see? It was in here. Red Alert. And a few other people I saw. So later, Scotty, he's leaving. I think he's probably the ambassador. Okay. Yeah, ambassador says, exactly Fatal. The truth is Star Wars hype on YouTube will eventually die down.
Bill, watch this. You can do something real cool. Click on their names. Click on their comments.
And it just shows up, right?
Yeah. Click on their comments, and it'll pop right up on screen. Boom. Like that, don't you?
Great. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I literally just started using this a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, so thanks. I appreciate it.
And then if you want to take that off, just click on the comment again.
Great, awesome.
Pop off.
Wow, this is really easy, man.
It's simple stuff, man.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, how you doing? So, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
We was talking about J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson.
Yeah, so anyway, I wish they would work on their own stuff. And what do you think is going to happen in the future, Fiddle? I mean, do you think what was really interesting? I saw an interview with Connor Trenier, who plays Tucker on Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise. And he was talking about how the pendulum swings to one extreme and the other extreme, and it's going to come back eventually, and things will get fixed. What do you think?
Yeah, because I mean, it's gonna have to because people are just not gonna buy this stuff. They're not gonna buy the merchandise. They're not gonna buy the DVDs. So you're gonna have to give the people what they want, unless you just wanna keep failing at these movies. It's a lot of movies for 2019 did bad in the box office, and they're blaming the fans. But it's funny because you're not catering to the people. Why are you blaming them? The dude that made the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's coming out next year, he got it. He listened to everybody that was saying that's not Sonic the Hedgehog. He went back, and I know this cost probably millions to do. He went back, changed the Sonic the Hedgehog design, and guess what? The reason for him doing that, I'm gonna go see the movie. I didn't even plan on seeing that movie.
Which movie was it, Fatal? I didn't hear.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the video game character. It has Jim Carrey playing a villain. And
yeah, it looks good.
He listened to the audience and changed the character. That's not hard to do.
I think like one of the best examples. I mean, everybody's saying it. One of the best examples is the guys who brought back Cobra Kai or Karate Kid. I mean, the Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, they doing an excellent job with that show.
Yeah,
I mean I didn't even think they would go so hard with the fan service.
And the thing is, though, Fatal. All right. Like what's so good about what they're doing is they're moving the story forward. They're innovative. They're being innovative. You can be innovative within the framework of canon.
PJ, who would have ever thought we would be on the Cobra Kai side? You know?
I know. It's an awesome idea. It's an awesome idea. And actually, it's funny because when you go back and you watch, there were always moments that I thought, wow, Daniel's being kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Daniel's
especially first season. That first season, he was really on another level.
Yeah, but I mean, even back in the movies, Fatal, like there's moments where like, dude, this guy Daniel's being an idiot. He's like looking for trouble.
PJ, that's funny you said that. It was a video I seen on YouTube. They broke down the first Karate Kid movie. Daniel started all that stuff. Daniel started all that.
He's looking for trouble.
Yeah, he was messing with what's the dude named the blonde hair, the lead dude in the show, Johnny. He was messing with Johnny first. He was
Johnny's girlfriend.
And all Johnny was doing was defending himself, but the movie made Johnny look bad. It was actually Daniel that was the bad guy. And it's a video floating around on YouTube where they broke that down. Daniel was the bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Because you know what? The part when Johnny was in there rolling up that doobie in the bathroom, Daniel came in and put that water on him. Johnny didn't do nothing. He just wanted to smoke a fat one and keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, and weren't those? I forget what the background of those two guys are. There's the two guys who they just went to YouTube. They went to YouTube and they pitched the show to YouTube. And I don't think do they have a film background or not?
Who you talking about?
The two guys who brought back Karate Kid and Cobra Kai.
They're directors. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I gotta look it up because I thought they weren't like full-time professionals. They're like part-time. They have some experience, but
are they the showrunners?
Yeah, the showrunners for Cobra Kai.
Okay, let me look them up real quick. Let's see.
And what was funny was that, when you were watching the interviews with Ralph Macchio and the other characters, the other actors, I'm sorry, when they were pitched this idea to kind of look at it from the other perspective, they were blown away with it. They were like, "Oh my God, this is a great idea."
And you know what blew my mind about Cobra Kai? They brought back John Kreese. I thought that dude was dead. I thought he was dead, bro.
Yeah,
because he was kind of up in age back then, you know.
Yeah.
But to see him in that show, that was that's fan service to the max. I wonder how Cobra Kai is doing in sales. I hope they're doing good because they really catering to the fans of Karate Kid.
Their only mistake, Fatal, is that they drop it all at once.
Yeah. They
but
said
they're
Netflix is about to stop doing it, dropping everything at once and do it bit by bit because their ratings will get real high, then it'll drop. Because people don't watch Netflix after that because they binging.
yeah.
I'm the type of person, no, I don't like binging. I can't sit for long hours and watch a show like that. I have to go outside and throw a football or something, man. I can't do that.
Hey, let me ask you this, Fatal. Are you watching? Because Scotty from Sporking and I were talking about this. Are you watching The Witcher at all?
I had my little nephew with me. What was that? Saturday. I tried to watch it, but then they started cursing, and I kind of didn't mind that. Then I seen some nudity, and I said, "Yeah, can't watch that right now." I've been meaning to. I tried to watch it yesterday. I just couldn't get to it. I'm gonna watch it today, though.
So what's interesting about that one is that, like, for that show, I think they strategically wanted people to drop to have it all at once and binge watch, because like the first 3 or 4 episodes, there's a lot of character building and there's a little slow, and I think they were even concerned about. I think they were even concerned about people not watching the next 4 episodes because it was a little slow, but it really picks up like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, I got to watch that show. I've always been hearing about The Witcher, video game wise, comic book wise, novel wise, because I know that's where it come from. And I want to see what all the fuss is about. And I've always been into the fantasy lore because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So anything that have to do with like elves and sword fighting and medieval type stuff themes, I'm rocking with it. So I'm gonna see it eventually.
Without giving, without giving any spoilers, I'm going to say that it has more like magic and fantasy integrated into it than Game of Thrones, for example.
But I like that because Game of Thrones is fantasy too, but to an extent. It ain't fantasy on the level of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I like that when they go extra with the fantasy. So I'm down for that. I did see the very beginning of The Witcher when he was in the it showed that deer drinking from the pond, and then he popped out of that fighting that spider monster. I like that. That was a good intro.
Yeah, it was a good intro. Yeah. I think he's pretty good in the role. What do you think? Do you think he's good in the role?
Man, Henry Cavill is Superman, bro. And I really do hope we get another Man of Steel movie with him because he deserves it. He deserves at least one more movie in my book. Henry Cavill is today's Superman. So I'm rocking with him in anything he does. He's a good actor. So I'm pretty sure he did good in The Witcher. He's underrated. He was in a movie that I seen a long time ago that kind of had like that 300 feel to it. Chad, help me out. What was the name of that movie he was in? He was fighting Greek gods in that movie. Can't think of the name for nothing. Super dope movie. The visuals are beautiful. Somebody in the chat help me out. What's the name of that movie? Immortals. Red Alert said it's Immortals. PJ, you ever seen Immortals?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Please. Have you ever seen 300?
Yeah.
You're like Immortals. Trust me. You're like Immortals.
Wow.
I think that was like
Clash of the Titans type.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it got the visuals like 300. That was when I think that's Henry Cavill's first movie. If I'm not wrong, I know it came out before Man of Steel. Excellent movie though. A lot of people they gave it bad reviews. I think it was a sick movie.
You mean like the reviewers gave it bad reviews or the fans?
I don't know. I think it was a little bit of both because I like to watch a movie and then see people's reviews, and it was kind of both from critics and YouTubers.
By the way, did you hear about the two people from Entertainment Weekly who kind of gave with The Witcher an F, and later they admitted they'd only seen like 2 or 3 episodes of the.
See, that's why I don't watch. That's why I really just listen to YouTube reviewers, but I only listen to them to an extent too until I seen it. Because a lot of times I like movies that the rest of the world hates. A lot of people hate Man of Steel. The first one, I love that movie. Matter of fact, I'm about to put my life on the line right now. You can throw darts at me. Man of Steel is actually my favorite superhero movie. Yes, I said it. I said it.
You guys can break out your tomatoes and throw it at the screen right now.
Throw them at me right now.
Actually, I do like that movie too.
Yeah.
The one I didn't like, for example, was I didn't like Batman vs Superman. I didn't think it was.
I like Batman versus Superman, but I understand why people don't like it because it was too much in one movie. They put too many elements in it.
Did you watch this? Did you watch the Super Friends, the cartoon, when you were little?
Yeah, I used to watch them. It just come on like at the butt crack of dawn, and I used to watch it because I always wondered why DC don't do anything with the Wonder Twins.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I think that if it's done right, anything is possible.
They won't never bring back the Wonder Twins, man. That's too cheesy.
Yeah, I don't think they. Well, I don't think they will for now either. Yeah,
because they used to turn into stupid stuff. Wonder Twins activate in the form of a bucket of water.
Yeah, it was funny. And she would be an animal, right? He would be water, and he'd be water or ice, and she would be an animal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so listen, to get Fatal, to get back on topic. What do you I don't know. I think the rumors I've heard make sense. I think that I think that Star Trek showrunners could be worried. You said they might. I think they could be worried about people being pissed off from Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek gonna have to change their game up. Discovery sucks. Quit trying to cater these shows and future movies based on Discovery. The J.J. Abrams Star Trek was decent, but at the same time, it still wasn't Star Trek. So stop trying to cater these movies like that. You now see, and now you have fear in your heart because you know this potentially might crash. If the audience that already seen Picard think this movie is horrible, then you need to change it up. You need to push back the show and rewrite and just change some stuff. If you know in your heart this show is going to fail, then guess what? It's going to fail. It's going to fail. Give us what we want. Give us the Star Trek that we want. If you don't know what that is, go back and really dive into those old episodes, Star Trek episodes of the OT. I think Next Generation, even though Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek series, Next Generation nailed it into what Star Trek is, in my opinion. Go back and watch all those episodes and then start the writing process. Don't just ponder, well, they'll think it's cool that we have a space battle for 30 minutes of the show. They would think it's cool if we redesign the suits to where they don't look like the suits from the old stuff. You know, they just giving us what they think we like. And that's going to hurt them.
You heard that, Fatal, I don't know if you heard this, but they're bringing back, they announced, I think it was like the day after the Skywalker, the Skywalker movie released, they announced, I think they announced it so they wouldn't get pushback, that the male dresses are going to be back in Discovery. Like you remember in Next Generation, like the first season of Roddenberry, there was a few guys who walked around with like a male dress.
Oh,
but then he got.
Oh, you talking about like I know like the captains whenever they're getting awarded or something. Oh, you talking about like that? Because I thought those was
I mean
cool.
like a girl's dress, like a dress, like a.
It sucks, man.
And they're bringing back, so Discovery, they announced last week, they announced that they're bringing back male dresses, unisex dresses. And I think, I mean, I don't know. I think they toyed with it once, and I think it went out of style because I don't think it's a great idea. Well, who knows what the future is like? Maybe there are male dresses, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. See, I'm Googling it now, and I never noticed that the dudes in skirts.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
only
that's
like one or two. There's only like one or two, and you only see them once.
Yeah, because
And
it's an Asian guy with it, and then it's another guy. So these were just like background guys or something.
yeah, they were background guys. They were at the time they were toying with it, but they never went back to it because I think they didn't. I mean, if they try something and they don't go back to it, it's for a reason. I think.
Because I noticed, like when Picard or Riker or even what's the captain name from Deep Space Nine? How could I forget him? Cisco. Whenever Cisco or Riker or Picard, whenever they was like in a ceremony, they will wear dresses. But it wasn't, to me, I didn't consider it a dress. But you could consider it a dress if they weren't wearing pants. You know the suit I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's more like a long jacket.
It's a long jacket
than a dress. I think.
Yeah. And I always thought those was cool because I wanted to dress up like that, like during some cosplay or Halloween or something. Because I know when Cisco was turned into a captain, he had one of those on. It was like his little award ceremonial suit. But if they do this dress stuff, man, I might be out, man. I might be out.
Everybody in the chat, go to Fatal J's GoFundMe for Admiral formal attire.
I want an admiral suit. Y'all hook me up. I always thought that was cool. That little gold thing they have around their neck. Star Trek is the best, man. When I'm talking about the 1% Star Trek, that stuff was so mind-blowing to me when I was a kid. The storylines, the stuff that made you think. It was an episode that really blew my mind, PJ. And I'm not trying to go off track, but
no, please. Which one?
Okay, I'm gonna let you know. I never forget the name, but I can tell you exactly what happened. Okay, you know Patrick Stewart was in X-Men, right? Yeah. He played Professor X.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You remember the girl that played Jean Grey?
Yep.
Okay, they was in an episode together, and she was an alien. She was an alien, and she hatched on the ship. When she came off the ship, she had this aroma to her. Okay, when she was on the ship and that aroma came off her body, any man on the ship was drawn to her, fell in love with her. You remember that episode?
I remember that episode. Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Okay, this what really made me think Picard is the ultimate man. Okay, so every man on the ship was in love with her. They wanted her. Picard kept it together through that whole entire episode. And she didn't understand why Picard was the only one that didn't fall in love with her. And this is the just mind-blowing thing to me. Towards the end of the episode, when she was getting ready to leave the ship, I think she might have told him she's going to miss him or love him. And Picard pulled a Han Solo on her. He said, I know. I said, Picard is the man. Picard is the man.
That was a great episode.
Picard kept it together through the entire episode. And that when I seen the episode, I said, man, Star Trek is amazing. This is some amazing stuff. I wish they could go back to that.
Dude, you go back to almost any any season of Star Trek, of any of the Star Treks, and you start watching it, and the quality of the story is just light years beyond.
The stories are amazing. And let
me just read go ahead. One sec, what Wes Moody says. He says, I remember that episode at Riker telling the bridge that he'll be on the holodeck if anyone needed him.
Yeah, because she got Riker. Riker was all up in her. He was trying to get her, you know. But Picard held it together. And you could tell it was like a battle, like it was a drug addiction with him, but he held it together. You could put that in any aspect of life, like alcoholism, drugs, or any addiction you got. Picard held it together. and stood his ground. I'm gonna watch that episode tonight.
You know, you hit Fatal. You hit on something really important. He is the character of Picard is so admirable, and there are people who are like that, and the idea of the SJW idea of or Kurtzman and all these people idea that no now the protagonist, the male protagonist, has to be a broken man, or he has to have a certain level of shadiness, or he's not the perfect, he's not a good father or whatever. That they're putting these characters forward that are very broken or imperfect, and they're stepping so far away from what you're saying about a character like Picard. And why not? Why can't we look up to the protagonist?
Yeah. And it's a time and place for that, to have that broken character. Like that episode when Picard he finally broke down, and we saw his weaknesses after the Borgs. After the Borgs episode, remember he went to his brother?
Yeah.
He had took a break and he broke down to his brother. That was some powerful stuff.
It was.
I'm scared we won't ever get that again with Star Trek.
But you're right. Like you're saying, like, listen, Picard's not perfect, but he lets things out in a certain context, in a certain way. Yeah. You're absolutely right, Fatal.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I get it, man. Family, says Wes. It's called. By the way, Fatal, you know that a lot of people were the Wesley Crusher character was one that people were kind of annoyed at especially in the first and second season of Star Trek.
Yeah, Crusher.
Yeah, but the truth is that Roddenberry put him in there because he kind of modeled Wesley after a young version of Gene Roddenberry. And I think it's fascinating. Like, I don't know how much you know about Gene Roddenberry's life, but dude, that guy had, like, before he even sat down to write Star Trek, he had all this life experience. And it feels to me like what's really missing in that writer's room is freaking life experience for some of these writers.
But Crusher was needed. You know why? Because he represented me when I was younger. When you didn't know your way. You didn't know what you was going to do. And one of the most amazing episodes by Crusher, at that very last episode we saw Crusher, what did he do? He realized his destiny. He knew he couldn't follow the way of his parents, his mom.
The Native Americans, right? Yeah.
And he went with the Native Americans because he found out what he was supposed to do in his life. Sometimes you don't supposed to do what your mom and dad want you to do. That's what they want for you. But is that what you want in the inside, in your heart? See, I'm telling you, everything about Next Generation was flawless. It was perfect. It was perfect. Crusher was needed. I love that character. It seems like each character represented a person in life. You know? Crusher represented the teenager or the 20-year-old who still don't know what they want to do with their lives. But once you found out what you want to do, once you found out your destiny, guess what? Life is amazing after that, you know?
Let me ask you this, Fatal. When in the last Star Trek movie that was made by the TNG group, what is it called? The last Star Trek movie, the one with the Romulans and the young Picard.
I know what you're talking about with Chris Pine.
No. The last movie that the Next Generation cast made. What was it called?
It was bad though. I do remember it was bad.
With the shins on and the young genetic clone.
Tom Hardy played him.
Yeah, I was thinking that one of the things that I didn't like about that was at the very end when Data dies. One of the things I didn't like is that Picard kind of he's this ideal person, and Picard kind of just freezes up at the end of that movie, and Data saves him because he beams him back. Whatever.
The people in the chat saying Nemesis. It's Nemesis.
Nemesis. I'm having a freaking yeah.
Well, Nemesis is so bad you'll forget. You know.
But yeah, it had a lot of potential, but I think one of the things that they people didn't like about Nemesis at the end was like their hero Picard kind of just like lets us down at the end a little bit because he doesn't respond, and it's proven that it didn't work in Nemesis, and but here we are with I seriously hope that they don't screw around with Picard.
PJ,
right now.
watch this. You nailed it because Luke Skywalker, people wanted to be him. Luke Skywalker, the ultimate hero that didn't give up on his father. Okay? Look at the Luke Skywalker we got in Last Jedi, a broken down coward. When you look up on that screen and you see Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader, you be like, I can see myself in that character. Matter of fact, I want to be that character. But you don't want to be that broken down person that you seen in Last Jedi who's afraid, that's want to kill innocent people. He wanted to kill Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren didn't even do nothing at the time. He just sensed dark side in him. Now here you got Vader. Vader was 100% dark side, and Luke Skywalker still was working with him and trying to get him to cross over.
Yeah, in front of the Emperor. Yeah.
So the people get let down when you change a character's lore like that, when you change their story. So that's why Nemesis did so bad.
And let me say, Fatal, what do you think about this? Listen, people can admire somebody. People can admire the hero of the movie, and they don't have to be like if you're a white guy, you don't have to identify with a white hero. You're a black guy. You don't have to. It's all BS. Like I lived in the Midwest, right? Near Chicago when I grew up. Every freaking white boy in Illinois wanted to be freaking Walter Payton when I was growing up.
Yeah, but it's usually like that, PJ. Because watch this. You got a whole bunch of black superhero characters. Blade, Black Panther.
Blade.
Guess who's my favorite superhero? Batman. Batman. A middle-aged, a Caucasian male. But it's usually like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of white guys want to be like Prince or somebody. Or Jimi Hendrix. You know?
Yeah, it's like, so diversity is good, but not to the point where diversity goes over making a good story. Like they're all just
What killed me about Star Trek 2 and Fatal J don't have a hate bone in his body. Love everybody on this planet. And I advise you to spread love to everybody on this planet. But when Discovery tried to do sexual preferences on the show, I thought that wasn't cool, because Star Trek never did push that type of stuff. It never did push those agendas. And see, when you're watching Star Trek, you want to be taken out of reality, but you putting too much reality into a show, which it doesn't work. You want to be in outer space, deep into the galaxy, to where people are thinking higher. Star Trek is a think higher show. It makes you think differently. If it wasn't for Next Generation, I wouldn't be thinking my way out of certain situations in my life. And I can thank Star Trek for that. It taught me to be a thinker and then do, instead of do first and get in trouble and then think why I'm in this predicament right now.
I understand I understand what you're saying, Fatal, because listen, Star Trek is the last show that needs freaking SJW. Star Trek was inclusive from the beginning. It's always been inclusive of everybody. And the last thing they need to do is to preach to Star Trek, to the traditional Star Trek audience.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, when you have, think about when in the 60s, the diversity that the original series cast had was mind-boggling, and Roddenberry got a lot of crap for the diversity on this.
But it usually be like that, though. You'll get the crap thrown at you, and then people love it later on.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Star Trek. It broke a lot of grounds. It made people think. It's not any TV show right now making you think.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you even something funnier than that. Watch this. Star Trek is so amazing. I've learned business from Star Trek. Quark, you can learn a lot from Quark.
Yeah.
Quark was 100% a businessman to the core. I think they should write a book about Quark, a business book. That will make some money, man. What was it called? The Acquisitions of a Ferengi?
Yeah, the rules of acquisition. There's a funny one. There's a funny one I joke with my kids around. I'm like, Quark says that exploitation begins at home.
Well, this is the number one rule of acquisition right here. How did he say it? Once you have their money, you don't give it back.
Yeah. Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying. You're not getting Star Trek is entertainment, real life, thinking, money, financial advice. You're not gonna get that with nothing else. You're not gonna get that with anything else, man.
No, it's
so they better redo. Picard can potentially be the show that brings Star Trek back, but they got to do it right. They have to do it right.
Do you think, Fatal? Do you think that if several of the cast members, like Brent Spiner, because Brent Spiner is a big name too. Data, the guy who plays Data is a big guy. He's a big actor.
Yes, he is.
And you have Patrick Stewart, and you have Jonathan Frakes, who is now one of the probably one of the best well-established directors.
He direct everything. Did he direct First Contact?
He did First Contact and
it's my favorite Star Trek movie.
And the one right after that. And he's also been directing The Orville. And so I think hopefully if some of these actors are involved, if the next generation team is involved, hopefully they're going to be able to shift things in the direction that they want to be, because there's some big names in there now.
Yeah,
good.
It would be cool if we get the whole cast, and I know it'll be cheesy if we got the whole cast like on the first episode. I would just like to see them like individually, like throughout the season, because I want to see LeVar Burton, and I want to see Michael Dorn. I want to see all them people. I want to see Crusher, the ladies. Maybe we can even see characters that left within the show, like young Crusher. See what he's up to with the Native Americans. I thought that was a cool story with the Native Americans going to outer space. I thought that was cool.
It was cool. Fatal, ever since Picard was gonna start, was announced to come back, one of the things that I thought was, all right, it's called Picard, it's about Picard. Who are the characters who are most tied to Picard? Obviously, we think about Dr. Crusher. We also think about the Whoopi Goldberg character.
Yeah,
she has a special, like they said it constantly. There's a special link between them. It's more than family. And then the other one is Q. Obviously,
I was right about to say, when I think who's tied to Picard, I'm thinking Q. And there's so many possibilities you can do with Q. Q could actually change the whole timeline of Star Trek to where it's supposed to be.
I certainly hope so. And what's interesting is both Guinan, the Whoopi Goldberg character, both Guinan and Q, both have a tie to the Borg as well. Because the Q introduced. Gave them a head start.
Yeah, he the one that put them in the galaxy where the Borgs were.
Yeah. And Guinan knew all about the Borg because her people had been conquered by the Borg.
Yep.
So I think Whoopi Goldberg is also going to be in it at some point, and I think
hope so.
keeping that.
And she haven't been in anything in a while because I know she only does The View. So that would be interesting to see her come back.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was a lot. I mean, I was young, but I at first I thought it was a little weird, but when I go back and watch the Guinan character, that's some freaking. I mean, it's a good character. It's like they really gave her an important role.
Yeah.
And I actually appreciate her a lot more as
she was the counselor, even though she was the bartender. She was really the counselor. She kept a lot of people together, gave good advice. You need that character in the show. Because guess what? You can still make your lead character strong, but at the same time, he still have that flaw to where he needs help. That's excellent story writing.
Yeah, and because she's not a member of Starfleet, she's just a civilian on board. He could talk to her because he can't go to his subordinates, Picard.
He can't let the shield down with them.
Yeah.
So that's excellent writing. See, why can't they get those writers to write this?
Well,
if I'm Kurtzman, why wouldn't I hire Next Generation or Deep Space Nine writers to write this stuff?
That's what Seth MacFarlane has done. He says, You don't even want these guys. I'm gonna go make my own Trek. And he's hired guys. He's hired people like Brandon Braga,
and I love that because Orville is winning right now. It's winning right now. The copy of Star Trek is winning. Is beating Star Trek. That's how you do it, though. That's how you used to have. Ford was the only guy making these cars, but it was somebody else that said, "Hey, I can make one even better than that one," and bam, people start buying that stuff. And competition is good.
That's a good example.
Competition is good because it'll make you better to make you stay on your toes.
Yeah, and Red Alert is bringing up Ronald D. Moore, who stepped away from he stepped away from Voyager to make Battlestar Galactica. That was there's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah.
So, how long do you want to go for, Jay?
I don't know. Have we hit the hour mark? I was having fun.
Yeah, well, we can go for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good right now. Is there anything you want to bring up? Is there anything on your mind that you wanted to?
I don't know, man. To me, it's just not looking good with Picard. It's just, I don't think I got this strange feeling with all these pushbacks and all these changes, and this is gonna disappoint us again. And I'm thinking, where are we going to go after this? Because to me, I thought Picard, when they announced it, I was like, okay, Picard is going to set everything right. But it don't seem like this is going to be right. When you hear all this drama in the beginning of before you even see episode 1, the show is going to be bad. I've never seen in the history of film and movies where they go through all this drama in the beginning and it comes out as a classic. If I'm wrong, chat, help me out. If I'm wrong,
Jay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And the thing is, though, I wonder if season 2. I think we're not going to be able to really decide until the beginning of season 2 because they took somebody actually took Kurtzman off the show as a showrunner for season 1. But I think it's season 2 is where we're going to see really if they start to find their way.
And PJ, this is what I wonder. What is the basis of the show anyway? Because Picard is required. I mean, he's retired, right?
My understanding is he's retired. He's a little.
Is he still a captain? He retired as a captain, or is he an admiral?
No, I think he retired as an admiral. Supposedly, something has to do with the destruction of Romulus. Is involved in the story, and
okay, Romulus. Now, I thought Romulus was still in. I thought it was destroyed back in Next Generation.
No, Romulus was destroyed when JJ made his alternate, his Kelvin timeline.
See, I knew that. I knew in the Chris Pine movies, that's when Romulus got destroyed. So this is the same timeline as the J.J. Abrams Star Trek timeline, right?
No, it's
So you see the holes? It's the plot holes.
No, it's supposedly okay. Yeah, it's after the JJ, but it's the prime. Supposedly, it's the prime timeline. Supposedly,
Which one is the prime though? The Star
the
Trek
one
that we
grew
love,
up
right?
with.
The one the prime is the ones we love. The Star Trek movies, the shows we love.
So
the Calvin timeline is J.J. Abrams' timeline, right? So is Picard going to be prime or is going to be J.J. Abrams' timeline?
Well, supposedly it's prime, but obviously the event of the destruction of Romulus was something that JJ did.
Because I was thinking in the prime, it didn't get destroyed.
Well, it doesn't. But the thing is, with the Kelvin time, okay, so the alternative timeline is created only when you go back in time. So when you go back in time now from the point of the destruction of Romulus, then what they go is to the alternative timeline. From my understanding.
This is gonna suck.
But listen, you know what? In sci-fi, the more sci-fi I watch, the more I'm convinced that anything is possible as long as it's done with and with respect. That's the question.
What up, Nerdy Blurred? I ain't mean to cut you out, but Nerdy Blurred, that's one of my YouTube buddies I met in the very beginning of my career. And if you ever watch my intro, he made my intro. He's like the graphic king. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the chat. He's the graphic king. I mean, he's amazing with the graphics, man. He need to do movies or something. Shout out to you, Nerdy Blurred.
Hey, anybody need work done? Go to Nerdy Blurred.
Seriously.
Let me just say hi to Jet Screamer and Swift and Ambassador. And I know we've been chatting here up a storm. We have been looking at the Nerdy Blurb says, so JJ didn't change the prime timeline. Romulus was destroyed in prime. That's what created the Kelvin. Yeah, I mean.
Hold on, say that. What created the Kelvin? Say that again.
The destruction of Romulus created the.
That's right, it did.
Yeah.
That's why we got 2 Spocks, right?
Yeah.
and if you count Discovery, we actually got 3 Spocks.
We do. And by the way, JJ also didn't just destroy Romulus, but he destroyed Vulcan too in the movie.
Sure did. You're right.
He killed Spock's mom in the movie.
Dang, man. It's gonna suck, man. The reason why I brought that up though is because we want to see Picard in a ship. We don't want to see him on just one planet and just having adventures. And this girl, I feel like this girl that keep popping up in this trailer, she's really gonna be the main star, and Picard is gonna play background to her.
That's what people are saying, but I
don't want to see
her. Man. It'd be the dumbest idea to do.
PJ, I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her. No. I want to see Picard, even though he's an old man. Patrick Stewart is old. So what? I don't care. He was old on this generation. He don't never age. Heck of an actor, though. I love Patrick Stewart. But I don't know. How can you, if he don't have his crew, if he ain't on the ship, what are you going to give us? It better be some heck of some writing. It better be some heck of some writing.
I was under the impression that Stewart insisted on Michael Chabon being that's the Nobel Prize winner. I mean the Pulitzer Prize winner, excuse me, writer Michael Chabon.
Yeah,
I was under the impression that Stewart wanted him on board because he kind of trusted him to take the story in a positive direction. But who knows how much they've messed with it? I mean, Kurtzman messed with it for a while, and they. I mean, dude, when 80% of the people are against the test screening, that is scary.
You're in trouble.
I mean, I really hope they've done some fixing there, Jay, because otherwise, man, after Star Wars and after Star Wars and after Discovery, like people are going to be freaking upset.
I think they messed up bad though. They messed up really bad when they didn't just go forward with a new crew. And I'm talking about even before Discovery, when they was coming out with the J.J. Abrams movies. I think they should have never did that. Like doing the crew is when they was young, they should have just did something fantastic with a great A-list cast, new story, new ships, and just go from there. Because Chris Pine, from what I'm hearing, he don't want to do another Star Trek movie ever. He don't want to do another one because the movies are tanking, right? Like the last one didn't do so good. Star Trek Beyond.
No, it didn't do
And
good.
they said the other one before that didn't do good. Now, I think the 2008 did pretty good, but they lost money with the last two. And they said they was going to do a Star Trek 4 with the actor Chris Hemsworth Thor, but it fell through. It fell through because he played Kirk's dad, right?
Yeah. And now he's a big star. And it is
And now he's a big star.
They have to pay two big stars, Pine and Hemsworth.
On top of not doing too good with the same movies, with the last two movies, so the budget is gonna be lower, you know?
Yeah.
Because people are scared to waste money again. So they really messed up. They really dropped the ball going back in the past to reboot it. Don't reboot something that's good. And I got a feeling too, Star Wars, they're gonna reboot too. See, reboot is a safety net for Hollywood. I really feel like in my heart, A New Hope, Star Wars is going to get rebooted. Watch what I tell you. They're going to reboot it.
I unfortunately, I think at some point you're going to be right about that.
Yeah, and people going to be super pissed. You think they pissed now? Just imagine you see Luke Skywalker again on screen as a young man played by somebody totally different than Mark Hamill.
Hey, let me just say hi to Axonar. Hey, today's movies are written by Capital Holding Companies, so it's no surprise that everything is shit. Thank you. Is that Stogie? What's up, Axonar? And Nerdy Blurb is liking your preaching, Fatal.
Man, Nerdy Blurb is my friend, man. I'm telling you, me and him we're close, man. That dude is so good. He need to start back making YouTube videos. Where you been, man? Now he got his job is really.
Oh God, Wes, don't say that, man. Don't say Brie Larson is Princess Leia. Don't even give him that idea, man. Wes
Man, you know what? Shout out to SNR Comics, man. They got some good artists on here to do the artwork. Man, y'all might help me fulfill my dreams of coming out with a ninja comic book.
Yeah, if you're the person hey Stogie, what's up? So Stogie is at Axonar and Trey is running Axonar Comics. So if you need to get in touch with him, I can put you in touch with him. Axonar
yeah, man,
Comics.
I got a SNR Comics. I've been having. I'm telling you, I know y'all heard this a lot. A lot of people say, "Yeah, I got this comic book." No, I got this Ninja Revenge story. I'm telling you, man, we need to get together. We need to get together. Trust me. It's a ninja. I love ninjas, man. Ninjas is my life. I love anything that have to do with ninjas, ninja cartoons, movies, comic books, all that stuff, man. Hey, blame it on Ninja Turtles, the 1990 movie. That movie blew me away when I was a kid.
I know, right?
I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle so bad, PJ. I tried to go into the store, and my mom grabbed me just in time because I thought that's where they lived.
Really? How old were you?
Oh man, I was like 7, 8 years old.
That's funny. Yeah, Axonar says, yeah, Fatal, hit up Trey on Axonar Comics.
Yes, sir, I will. And I'm gonna subscribe to you too. I just subscribe to the comics division.
Let me Fatal, let me ask you, I don't know how much you've seen of the Orville, but what's your are you excited for season 3?
Hey, you need to forgive me because I only seen episode 1, 2, and 3. But from what I've seen, I loved it. I need to catch up.
When you get into season 2, you're gonna love it.
I'm glad though that season 3 hasn't started because I got plenty of time to catch up. But from the first 3 episodes I seen, I had fun. It was awesome. It reminded me of Star Trek. It really did. It would be so cool if Orville start blowing the other shows out the water. Is they blowing like Discovery out of the water when it comes to money? When it comes to sales?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the thing is though they're kind of there's a lot of people who haven't really gotten into it yet, but the people who have just love it. They're crazy about it.
It's cool.
Plus, it's got that comedic element that Seth has. You know that kind of little.
Well,
comedy.
you know, if Seth gonna be in it, it's gonna have comedy. You know.
And in season 2, they kind of found the right balance between science fiction and comedy, and I think it's pretty good.
And I'm gonna tell you something cool about him. He's a visionary. So, like, let's take Family Guy for instance. People didn't see the vision back then until Cartoon Network picked it up. Then people got it. People gonna see the vision with Orville Nation.
Listen, yeah, with the Orville. Dude, you just
I mean Orville.
something...
I said Orville Nation. I mean the Orville.
Well, yeah.
Shout you out too.
the Fatal, you just hit on something really important. People, this just hasn't sunk in yet with a lot of people. Family Guy is in season 18. American Dad, if I'm not mistaken, is in season 14 or 15.
Yeah. Dude,
get ready, guys, because you're going to see season 11 of the Orville or season 13 of the Orville. When Seth does something, he does it fucking. He jumps in full. You know, he jumps in head first in the pool,
and he understands consistency.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You know what's different, Fatal? You're absolutely right. You know what's different about the shooting of the Orville, from what I've heard, is that Seth is bringing in, because Seth has only been working in animation. So one thing he's been doing is, when the season starts, all the scripts are done. Everything is ready. Like, everything is ready for the actors. There's no more people in the writer's room writing the last episode of the season or the next episode. Everything is freaking done when they start filming. Yeah. And nobody in Hollywood works that way. So I mean, supposedly some of the results that we're getting from the Orville, it has to do with Seth's work ethic, which is amazing.
But that's how you should do it. That's how I would do it. Make sure everything is done, then film. That's like what I'm supposed to do with this book. I'm supposed to be done with the script, done with the designs, and then I'm going to hand it off to the artist. Why do I need to scramble and be unorganized? That's going to make the story weak. It's going to make the product weak. That's why Star Wars did so bad. Episode 9, reshoot after reshoot, putting out a ton of trailers. We should have had just 3 good trailers at the most. But I knew something wasn't right because they kept doing the reshoots. They kept doing all these trailers about Kylo Ren's lightsaber, about his helmet, about his shoes. It was unorganized.
Oh yeah,
I'm a strong believer of having everything ready before you dive in. So shout out to Seth.
Hey Tommy, what's up? And Stogie returns. What's up, guys? But yeah, to get to your point, Fatal,
hello, Tommy.
To get to your point, Star Wars, because all right, I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked. When we heard the story about Daisy Ridley seeing the movie in the premiere and then running out and crying in the car, I don't know what that's about, and who knows what that's about. But when you think about the actors, you heard.
I know what it's probably
right?
about.
Well, when you think about the actors, they're not just reacting to what they're seeing on screen. They're reacting to every single version of that they've shot. They know what's been excluded. They know what.
Yeah.
And so it's
think about this. Think about this, Orville. If you was Kelly Trans that played Rose Tico, now you know you played a character, but your image is playing the character. So how do you think she feels about how they portray her in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker? Because guess what? We all know truthfully that Rose Tico was supposed to be a big supporting character in The Last Jedi, and they barely put her in the movie.
So
Yeah,
I can
and Rise of
understand why
Skywalker.
Daisy really ran to her car and started crying, because she probably thought this trilogy suck. The last Skywalker saga movie sucks. I'm in it. I'm starring in it. My career could be potentially done. Think about it. Mark Hamill is a talent, but Mark Hamill is not big outside of the Star Trek realm. I mean, Star Wars realm, besides playing the voice of Joker. And he's talented. Daisy Ridley, she could be talented, but this movie is going to do so bad or headed that way. I don't think we're going to see Daisy Ridley that much after this.
I do think it was a little different when Mark Hamill was younger, because people were being typecast, and I think that.
And I wasn't
that might
disrespecting Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill is the man. But I was just trying to make a point, though.
Yeah, I actually think that. I mean, these people are relatively unknown. The stars of the Star Wars were.
That's
were
how
not
they
very-
pick them, though. They pick like the unknown people. But John Boyega, if you ever seen some movies outside of Star Wars,
He's talented.
he's talented, man.
Oh, they make him look like a freaking buffoon, man.
I know they didn't utilize him.
All he does is chase Ray and say
Chase
Ray.
Ray and scream out loud. He even did it. He did it in this movie. Dang, they didn't utilize John Boyega, man. And even the actor that played Poe, he's an incredible actor. He's an incredible heck of an actor. And they didn't utilize him. He played a coward in this one.
Hopefully they will move on to better things. I mean, hopefully they will.
I hope so too. Daisy Ridley, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. It's the writer's fault. She just had to do what she had to do the best acting she could do.
What do you think? Do you think there is a Lucas cut?
No.
No?
No. I believe there is cuts we haven't seen, like different endings and stuff like that, but no, not a whole movie though.
Well, I don't mean the whole movie, but there's I think because they went, listen, I think it's a big deal that George Lucas wasn't at the premiere. I think that they went to him for help, and he helped, and then they kind of disregarded his help. That's what I think.
See, if he helped, I feel like then we would have seen Anakin in this movie, because Anakin, out of the words of George Lucas, he said Anakin is the chosen one. But if you go by this movie, Rey is the chosen one. Well,
that's what I'm saying. They disregarded his help, whatever that help was.
Well, you know what? If they disregarded it, George Lucas getting the greatest revenge, because this movie is doing bad in the box office. It's doing worse numbers than Last Jedi and Force Awakens. And that's not good, because this is supposed to be like the end. And
hey,
people,
Jay, tonight, the last episode of Mandalorian drops. Are you excited?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people said they kind of feeling this show. I'm really enjoying this show. I'm a fan. If they come out with a DVD steel book, I'm getting the steel book. This show was fun. It was amazing. It was nostalgia. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad it's still a little small piece of Star Wars that the fans can enjoy.
I agree. There is a little small piece of Star Wars.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. There is a small little piece of Star Wars.
I want to see more. I want to see what they do with this. I want to see if maybe Boba Fett will pop up. Maybe Luke Skywalker will pop up. You'll never know. Luke is still alive around this time. It will be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can pop up. You're absolutely right. That's true.
A lot of things you could do. You could have Boba Fett fight Mando. There's a lot of things you can do. Just imagine.
There's a lot of people say that's coming.
Well, just imagine we see a Boba Fett and Mando fight. They will talk about that all week on the internet.
Hey, Fatal, dude, this is a lot of fun, man. I gotta wrap things up, but
hey, I understand. Hey, I want you on my show next time, man.
Absolutely, and listen, man, this is a lot of fun. I'm gonna be doing a lot of daytime stuff. So whenever you're available, before you're maybe before you go back to maybe while you're still on break.
Yeah,
maybe
because
do it
I
again.
go back after next week, so I got plenty of time.
Okay. So listen, thanks guys. I just wanted to recognize everybody who's still with us. Nerdy Blurb, John Haros, Stogie returns, Tommy.
You can click on their names too, make it look good.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, man. Nerdy Blurb, John Haros, Wes Moody, Nerdy. I even got a free tutorial on this from Fatal today. Stogie, Tommy, Shaya. Thanks guys for
Well, Tommy,
Swift,
hey, Tommy.
and whoever was with us earlier, Ambassador, and Sport Gang, and everyone who was here, Aaron, everybody who was here earlier. So thanks guys, Adega. Thanks for joining us today at this time. This is kind of going to be a new time for doing stuff, and just to remind everybody that we still got a ways to go till Orville season 3. So we got to stay engaged, and we got to stay engaged with people like Fatal J.
Yeah, and I got to catch up before it pops on.
Hey, Fatal, you know what you could do? You could because you haven't seen them. You could review them. You could review them on your channel.
Yeah, but this is how YouTube work. When you review too late, like when you don't review when it come out, your video ain't gonna do too good. But when season 3 come, I'd start reviewing. That's what I do, because I love Star Trek just as much as I love Star Wars. Sometimes I love Star Trek a little bit more, you know?
Yeah. Dude, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it, Fatal.
No problem.
We'll be in touch.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks.
Many more after this one.
Thanks, everybody. Everybody enjoy the holidays. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.